Welcome back. My name is Scott Heaton. I am your host of Scott Recommends, and we are back with Matt Bell of My Tax Pro. Matt, we are talking about, or you're going to talk about, what I would consider a hot topic for a lot of people, and that is how much am I going to owe in taxes this year? Which I think is a loaded question,
Right.
super vague. Talk to us.
Yeah, and you're spot on, right? It is a pretty loaded question. So when people come up to me and ask, how much am I going to owe in taxes? Well, it depends, right? It depends on a lot of things. It depends on your deductions, right? Are you taking the standard deduction or are you itemizing? It depends on different credits you have, like the child tax credit or the American Opportunity Credit, which is a college credit that you can. So all of these things come into play, which will determine what your tax liability is. But to go a little bit deeper into how to calculate what your tax liability is, uh, oftentimes people will reference the various tax brackets. And what I want to pinpoint is that the tax bracket that we have, it's a progressive tax system, meaning that the more income we make, the higher the tax bracket you'll be into. And so it's called a marginal tax rate. So the first chunk of money that you earn is going to be taxed at 10%. The next chunk of money is going to be taxed at 12, goes up to 22, 24, and goes up from there. And so oftentimes I hear like, oh, I don't want to earn too much money because then I'll go
Right.
into that next tax bracket. What a lot of people don't quite understand though is those additional dollars that are in that higher tax bracket, it's only those that are getting taxed, meaning that not all of your money is taxed at that higher bracket. It's just the money that is within that range is getting taxed at that rate. And so your marginal tax rate is very different than your effective tax rate or your average tax rate. They take into consideration all of your income and different tax rates that your income falls into, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's tricky, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it can be tricky. It can be tricky. And so trying to take something that's kind of tricky and understanding it can be difficult sometimes, but yes, it can be tricky.
On social media,
Yeah.
I see a lot of, especially when we get closer to tax season, it never fails. There's always a huge increase of people posting and saying, "Hey, I think I need help with my taxes this
Yeah,
year,"
yeah,
or "Last year my accountant did this. I'm not happy with them this year." Right? There's so many posts about taxes when we get closer to tax season. So
right.
if I come across something like that, or if somebody watching is in that same boat, you would,
Yeah.
how do I get them in touch with you, or how do they get in touch with you if they're considering, wow, this is a little more complicated than I thought. I should talk to a
Yeah.
tax professional.
Yeah, they can give us a call. Our number is 385-352-3396. They can also go to our website, which is my-taxpro.com. And one thing I'll say is at My Tax Pro, we are fast and we are affordable. We're after the demographic of people that don't want to pay a high-end CPA firm to do their taxes, but also don't want to do it on TurboTax. And so I feel like we're kind of in that demographic of people. So
Do you service businesses, small, large? Is it just like the small mom and pops kind of person? Is it just a W-2 employee? Who is it that you service?
yeah, great question. So we do kind of the W-2 family taxes. We do the self-employed, small business, mid-sized business. So pretty much anyone other than if you're grossing, probably 10 million plus with your business, we would refer that out. But anything other than that, I'd be happy to help. So
Okay. Well, thanks again. You've, I'm sure, raised a lot of questions for a lot of folks out there watching. So
yeah,
it's good.
yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Scott Recommends.